It's going to go something like this. Well, here, let me make sure that it sounds good.
I think with my dad.
Shut up, Ted. Asshole. Okay. All right, here we go. We're going to mute. Welcome, everybody. It's another episode of Ears Up Podcast, and we're doing the crowd favorite history shows. We're doing a history show, and it's a Taren history show. So if that makes it better or worse, I don't know for you. But Taren's going to do great. She has 1,000 pages of information to go through, and she's going to phonetically pronounce every single one of them.
I actually legitimately do write out things phonetically. Like this one has some French words in it and some German words. And I'm like, as I typed out the German one again and again throughout the paragraph, I was like, nope, it's just going to be my phonetic. It's not. I don't even know how to spell the real word anymore.
Oh, dude, I do that all the time, especially I interviewed on the beer show. I interviewed a brewery from Opelika, Alabama. Opelika, but it's Opelika. To me, that's Opelika. But I asked him before, and so I had to like change it. I do that. I do that all the time because it's so hard to like be when you be reading. This is my Chris Rock impression. To like go through and then remember, like, oh no. Not only do you have to like keep up with your cadence and your projection and you're doing all that kind of stuff and keeping track of where you are on the paper, but also reading ahead. But then you have to remember how to pronounce this dumb word that should really just be in English. English should just be everybody's language. We don't need the French language anymore. It's outdated. It should be like Latin where no one speaks it.
Oh boy.
That's right. And another thing, you can find me on Parler where I'm saying these kinds of things, but
yes.
Yeah, I'm totally kidding, by the way.
Oh jeez.
Are you on Parler?
No,
Okay,
I'm not.
thank you.
I have no desire to be on Parler.
Isn't Parler like the super like right wing?
It's where you can say anything except, and then they give you like a laundry list of things you can't actually say. But yeah, it's if you want to get red pilled into any sort of like racism or militia content, Parler is where you are.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I digress. We have a great show for you. Taren is doing the history of Sleeping Beauty's castle, if I'm not mistaken.
Sleeping Beauty Castle.
Sleeping Beauty Castle.
It is not her castle. I mean, it is her castle, but it's Sleeping Beauty Castle.
I don't like that. It should be Sleeping Beauty's possessive. It's her castle. But a Sleeping Beauty castle, to me, implies there's like more. It's like a Ford car.
This is not in the history, but there is multiple. I mean, there's Paris.
That's Sleeping Beauty Castle is in Paris?
And there was one in Hong Kong, not anymore.
I don't like it. No, in Hong Kong, they have 12 different princesses represented.
Yeah, now. But before it was Sleeping Beauty Castle. So just as a preface to the history, this is strictly the history of Sleeping Beauty Castle in Disneyland.
That's the only one that matters, Taren.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome for that. What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Before we get to the show, you can find us on social media. You know that. I don't really care anymore. Feedback, Taren at earsupodcast.com. Terrence handles show suggestions or guest suggestions or whatever. You can say hi.
Hi.
To Beth. Thank you, guys. Anything else comes to me, Jason, Ears Up, Pipe and Pod.
What is that?
Maybe someone is playing
me on my side.
The video. Yeah, just pause your video if you wouldn't mind, if it's not already paused. I'd like to introduce you guys. Geez, I'm stupid. I'm like running words together, and I don't know. I'm not with it. I'm not with it today. But I want to remind you guys about our official travel partner, Concierge. If you guys are trying to go to Walt Disney World, use Concierge, please. Even if you're not going to stay on the resort, we talk a lot about how they book hotels for you and they get the tickets and they help you out and all like the really good details that they offer for free, for extra, right? But you don't need to use that. If you're just going to go into the park for a day or 2 days, buy your tickets from Concierge. They do that and then so much more. If you need the reservation system, if you need help with that, they offer that as well. But it's not like a requirement. Like, if you've been to Disney World 100 times, you can't use Concierge. That's not what it is at all. Buy your park ticket through Concierge, please. Help them out. Times are hard all over, in the podcast world and especially in the travel agency world. So we want to support our friends over at Concierge. So please, if you're planning on doing any sort of Disney related trip, check them out as well. And then once everything starts opening back up after this vaccine comes through, baby, excited for it. I'm actually like looking forward to traveling and doing stuff later next year. But if you're like me and you're trying to get out to the parks or whatever, remember concierge, they're your friends. They're going to help you through this. They'll let you know everything you need to know to get to wherever you want to go.
Well, and I think you just made a really good point that I actually hadn't.
Thanks, man.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah.
That I hadn't actually thought about is that like I have this year for Christmas, I have done my absolute best getting everything possible from smaller businesses. Like you can't tell from my porch right now, but I've really been trying to avoid Amazon. And
okay.
Yeah, I'm just doing the robot to drink my beer. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay.
My brain's not here, man.
No.
I'm trying to distract myself.
It's a good thing it's my show. No, but
it is a good thing.
But I think that with concierge, I think that that's like a really good way to support a smaller business while still getting the thing from the big business that you want.
Exactly. And I'm trying to do that too, where, like you had some stuff from Amazon on your Christmas list. I just Googled the manufacturer of the thing and try to buy at least from the manufacturer. If you can't do that, then buy from a local place, because Bezos literally made $70 billion during the pandemic.
And they're not paying taxes like the small businesses are. So it's
no, of course not. They're also not paying their employees hazard pay.
Yeah. It's I think one of the best ways that you can actually help people during this holiday season is to not shop Amazon if you can help it.
Yeah. Another way, I saw someone on Twitter say something like, the Spotify wrap up or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
They were like, your Spotify wrap up is just a list of people you owe money to. It's like, here's your most listened albums, but those artists are literally getting literally pennies. So if you're on Spotify and if you like podcasts, and I'm not even just talking about ours, but if you like podcasts and you like these albums that you sort of listen to on Spotify, buy them. If you like the podcast, go to their Patreon page, because everyone has one, and support them that way. Don't give Spotify your money. Give these artists your money. Local business, small businesses. We keep the world running, man.
Yep.
I don't know. Until it's time to get elected, and then we forget it all. I don't know.
Whatever.
If you want to support us, speaking of us, you can go to etsy.com/shop/coveyears. We have a mask up. I think we have 2 masks, actually, by the way. And again, I've said before, I have no idea if they're any good or not. I'm assuming they're going to be great, but, that is not, I have not tested them out. They have not been laboratory tested, but they're a face covering and they look cool and they can support us. So that's great. But the best way, of course, patreon.com/earsup. As little as $2 a month, or that's a quarter a show, everybody. That would really go a long way to help us sort of upgrade. And I need to replace all my stupid cables again. Like, this is just insane. But whatever. Anyway, the $5 level, of course, is where you get the secret show. The $12 level and up, you guys are lucky because you're getting another episode of cool people doing cool things. And I wrote a theme song for it.
He did. Is that in your excerpt?
I don't know. Let's see if I can find it.
It's really good, you guys.
It's going to be amazing. I can tell.
Jason is so good at theme songs.
I can't. I think I did it on this computer, but I have no idea what I labeled it.
You really are the worst. Like, you do need an assistant.
I know.
But you would be the worst kind of boss because you would make them do everything.
Okay, here it is. I think this is what it is. There you go. Are you gonna play? There you go. This is it. Oh.
Cool people, cool things. Cool people doing really cool things. Cool people, cool things. Cool people doing really cool things.
There you go. That was it. That's the new intro song. The cool people doing cool things. Terrence, are you all right, man? You're holding your head. You're holding your forehead in a downward position. I need to know if we need to send somebody for you.
No, something completely unrelated to this, Jason. Definitely not about that song. There's no way.
Oh, do you want to hear it again?
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
All right, here we go.
Cool people, cool things. Cool people doing really cool things. Cool people, cool things. Cool people doing really cool things.
How long do you think it took me to write that and record it, Terrence?
3-4 days. That's a classic.
3 or 4 minutes for sure, man.
Overdubs.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a lot of compression, and it still sounds like dog doo-doo. But anyway, there you go. That's the new theme song. I'm pretty happy about it, honestly. I think it was pretty great. But anyway, it's a cool episode. It's with my friend Ted Ramey, who is a play-by-play announcer for the San Jose Earthquakes, a Major League Soccer team out here in San Jose, and he's done a lot of work with a lot of local radio stations, KCBS. He's a traffic guy, he's all sorts of stuff. So we have a good hour of conversation, and Ted's a great guy. He's a good kid, and he does really well at his job. So it was fascinating to talk to him about stuff that's not beer or soccer related, but not work related. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So what I did today is, after this show ends, when we play the theme music, I'm going to drop about a 5-minute segment from Cool People Doing Cool Things as like a teaser. So if you're ever interested, if you're not a $12 donor, but you're still interested in what's going on, we got a little snippet for you after the show. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. And even if you're not, just stay tuned for it. It's fine. All right, anyway. The 21st Amendment is ready for the fall season with their latest release, Hell or High Mango. Hell or High Mango is made with real fruit, and it's sweet, slightly tart with tropical floral flavors and aromas. It's a perfect beer to enjoy during this fall time of year as the colors and the season change. Behind all that great mango flavor and aroma is a wonderful wheat beer with its biscuity, light bready notes, and a mere 4.9% ABV is even more enjoyable. Hell or High Mango is available across the country where 21st Amendment beer is sold. So go out and enjoy a Hell or High Mango today. And be on the lookout. I'm going to spoil it for everybody.
I was just going to do it too.
Hell or High Pomegranate.
I know. It sounds delicious.
Hell or High Pomegranate. So what I'm saying, Hell or High Pomegranate, little bit of lightly aged rum. There you go.
Oh, that's a Christmas drink.
That's a walk around the park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway.
Nice.
All right, Taren.
Yes.
Let's talk about the history of Sleeping Beauty Castle, which just sounds like a Sephora for narcoleptics.
I don't know what that means. Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Sleeping.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, there you go. That was a good one.
Look, man, I just assembled that on the fly. I didn't even
really good.
Thanks, man. Go ahead.
All right, you guys. The history of Sleeping Beauty Castle. So Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland is arguably the single most recognizable image in the world. It's an image you've seen before every Disney movie since you can remember. It's on countless toy packages. It's an unmistakable icon for Disney. And I would argue that it's even more recognizable than Mickey Mouse himself.
Ooh, that's okay. You want to argue that?
Wow, you threw that one down.
Yeah, Terrence loves arguing, so
before Alice knew Mickey Mouse, she knew that castle meant a movie she wanted to watch. Just saying.
Okay.
That's my argument. Anyway,
I'm gonna give you that one. It's a good point.
Thank you. So now we know that Sleeping Beauty Castle is the centerpiece of Disneyland Park. And maybe we even know, I'm going to start that over so you can go ahead and edit this. Sorry. That was like,
it's fine,
I got
Taren.
real lost.
You know what I love doing is working.
Good.
Yeah.
You need to do that more. So here you go.
I love it. I love editing audio.
Good. Now we know that Sleeping Beauty Castle is the centerpiece to Disneyland Park and maybe even the Disney company as a whole. But if you're a big Disney fan, you probably even know that the top was turned around during the design phase and the front ended up actually being the back. And if you're an early listener of Years Up podcast, you may also know that the Disney family crest on the castle isn't in fact the Walt Disney family crest, even though that's a widely believed tale. If you know all these things, you're pretty well versed on Sleeping Beauty Castle.
The end. All right. Thank you, Taren.
Oh, but there's so much more to know.
Oh.
Yes.
Damn, I'm sorry, man.
So the castle at Disneyland was built in 1955 as part of the original construction for Disneyland Park. Very early plans for Disneyland, back when it was planned to be part of Disney Studios in Burbank, had no castle in its design. Once the plan for the park grew from the rather simple idea involving a train and a carousel into a much grander idea with rides, characters, and entertainment, Walt immediately knew that his park was going to require a central focus, a centerpiece, a wiener.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
I always knew Walt was my guy for reasons, and now I have them.
Yes, Walt wanted something that would draw attendees into the park. As he put it, like waving a wiener in front of a dog. The castle was Walt's wiener.
I've done that. Oh, the castle is still Walt's wiener, honestly.
Yes.
All right, so next time you guys go to the parks or watch a movie, you'll see Tinkerbell stream across Walt's wiener.
Yes.
Framing it perfectly the way Pixie does.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, do you guys want to go through Walt's wiener walkthrough next time we're in Disneyland?
I do.
It's really good. It was closed down for a little bit, but it's back up.
I
now.
do.
Yeah, it was down and now it's back.
Right.
Oh my Lord.
The 77-foot castle was placed near the center of the park for a variety of reasons.
That's a big castle.
Yes, it presented beautifully and just
Average.
It presented beautifully.
I'm
Go ahead.
immediately regretting this decision, but this is all part of the history.
Yeah,
He really did say that.
sure.
It presented beautifully, just like a wiener in front of a dog. It drew people in.
It really does.
Beckoned, oh my God. It beckoned people down Main Street and into the world that Walt created. Now, having the castle as a focal point at the end of Main Street also provides guests with an immediate association with fantasy. You're not in Anaheim. Oh my God, I hate everyone. You're not in Anaheim. You aren't in any place you have ever seen in person. There's a large pink and blue castle in. Oh my goodness.
You say it's pink overall when like shoots of blue is branching off, like maybe tree branches or something.
Something like that.
Okay.
There's a large pink and blue castle in front of you. You are in a very special place. God,
Why did you do this to yourself?
I did.
Why did you do
I
this to
really
yourself?
thought it would
This
be.
is a world of your own
This
creation.
is not. That's really what he called it. That's what people call it. It was in several articles.
Walt's wiener.
Yet they didn't call it Walt's wiener, but
Okay.
he called it's the wiener.
Okay. Did he ever call it my wiener? Because I would have much more respect for Walt if he just kind of
No, that was me.
laid that out there.
I thought it would be
You'll
like
forgive the turn of the phrase.
I thought it would be funny for like a
Put everything
minute
on
and
the
then we'd
table,
all
you
be
guys.
over it.
No, we'll never get over it.
I
Yeah.
realize that now.
Yeah.
Met us?
It's not brought up again, so I
Okay.
think we're okay.
Sure.
It's
Well,
not brought up by you.
Yeah.
I know, jeez.
There's
This whole
medication
thing-
for that. It's fine.
This whole thing is ruined now. Aside from being aesthetically pleasing and a clear draw, Walt also wanted a tall monument that could act as a geographical identification point in the park. Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. Let's
Okay.
go. All right.
Sorry.
The intention was for you to see the castle, or at least the turrets, from anywhere in the park, which could orient you and help you navigate the large park more easily. The castle is obviously very important to Walt.
Which can I just make a point of, I don't know, whatever. To see the turrets, to navigate the park easier. In my mind, I'm going, well, because of all the big trees and whatever, that sort of makes sense. But back then there was like nothing.
But
Like
it was still
4-foot
very
trees.
large.
Yeah, but you could still, I mean, yeah, that's right. I don't know, it just sort of makes sense. But also, like, you had a map. I mean, would you really need to look?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to go on the other side of the castle. I've never used the castle as a where am I?
But because there's all the trees. So now you can't see it from every place in the park. So it's not
Okay.
that anymore.
Right.
But I think it used to be.
Right.
The castle is obviously very important to Walt, and he drew inspiration from a trip he and his wife Lillian took to Europe a couple of years earlier. While in Germany, they took a tour of Neuschwanstein Castle. The Neuschwanstein Castle is located in the German Alps and was built for King Ludwig II, the King of Bavaria. He was 18 years old when he was crowned the King of Bavaria, and 2 years later, Bavaria quickly lost the Austro-Prussian War within a matter of weeks. At the same time, the king was under scrutiny for not marrying or producing an heir, and for not really caring much about either of those things. Almost immediately after the war was lost, he built the castle as a hideout to pull away from social life. King Ludwig II was known as the fairy tale king because he was known for his love of art, theater, and poetry. When building his getaway castle, he wanted it to look and feel fantastical. So construction began in 1869, and over a decade later, Ludwig was finally able to move in. Every room and all hallways were covered in the king's favorite art, poetry, and writing. The decor was opulent and the furniture exquisite. It was regarded as a true fairy tale castle, all for himself. In 1886, however, just a few short weeks after moving in, the fairy tale king was found dead in a nearby lake. People speculated that it was suicide, but others thought it was an assassination. Weeks later, the castle was opened to the public, and 60-something years later, Walt and Lillian visited Neuschwanstein Castle, and Walt fell in love with the fairy tale aspects of it and pulled inspiration from both the medieval outside design as well as the fairy tale decor inside for what he wanted the design of his castle to look and feel like.
So if you go for Halloween, if you go to the park as the king of the Neuschwanstein Castle, Neuschwanstein, are you still Disney bounding?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Dead in the lake.
That is like that's a deep cut right there.
Literally.
Yeah.
Because the lake is deep.
Yeah. So Walt was an idea guy, not so much a pencil to paper kind of guy. So he gathered his best men to help design the idea of a castle that he had in his head. Herb Ryman sat down with Walt in 1953 to sketch out the initial drawings based off of the stylized turrets, tall and narrow windows, and asymmetrical shape that Walt had seen at Neuschwanstein Castle. But the project wasn't a slam dunk. Walt envisioned a very specific size for the castle. He needed it to appear large to attract people and be a true focal point, but it couldn't be so big that it became intimidating to guests. It couldn't be the only thing people cared about at the park, but it had to be something that they clearly navigated towards. Oh, also, Walt gave Ryman 2 days to finish the drawings, so that Roy would have something to bring with him to New York to show the Disneyland investors.
Hell yeah, dude.
Wow.
So this was very typical Walt, wanting a very specific thing created while asking his Imagineers to do the near impossible. It was also very typical Imagineer to do the near impossible successfully. Ryman completed the drawings for Roy, and after some edits, they later were given to Fred Jorger, who created a model based on Ryman's sketches. Now, the morning of the meeting to present to Walt, Jorger showed Ryman the model, who admitted he didn't like it. It just didn't look right to him. So with mere moments before Walt was expected to walk into the meeting room, Ryman picked up the top half of the model, which was built in 2 distinct pieces, and turned it around. The other Imagineers in the room panicked, and Ryman recalled them telling him to turn it around, put it back. Just then, Walt walked in, looked at the castle, and said, "Hey, that looks good. Let's do it that way." Roland E. Hill, a notable and innovative architect, then created the architectural drawings for the castle using a similar forced perspective to that used on Main Street to make the castle appear larger than it really is. Now, elements on the castle are larger closer to the foundation and smaller near the turrets.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Similarly, Imagineers used blue as the roof color to closely match the sky, also helping the castle to appear taller without actually being a massive structure.
See, and that's, I think that's like theory, color theory, right, or whatever. That's what they were like going for. But it sort of also reads to me that like, oh yeah, well it's blue because it's just closer to the sky. I wonder if it really does that. I wonder if it really would have separated it that much, like if you used red or yellow or whatever, to then go, wow, that's kind of short. Like I wonder, do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. I wonder how much of a difference the blue actually really makes on your eyes, or if they're just saying, they're just trying that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
But it's always been blue, so we'll never know. So speaking of structure, I do find it ironic that this grand and opulent fairy tale castle based on a European castle, which took over a decade to build, was built in less than a year and with wood. Sleeping Beauty Castle is actually built much like a regular house. It's a wooden structure with stucco on the outside. The turrets, also made of wood and stucco, were actually built on the ground and then craned up to their permanent positions. And the roof is made from fiberglass, which was a fairly innovative use of the material at that time. Now, the color of the castle has always been varying shades of pink, gray, and blue with gold accents. The gold on the spires, as we've discussed previously on this show, were not approved by Roy due to budgetary concerns, but Walt waited until Roy was out of town and went behind his back telling the Imagineers to paint them using real gold anyway. And while much of the castle was inspired by Neuschwanstein Castle, the chapel on Sleeping Beauty Castle was not. Now, the chapel is located just to the right of the tallest turret if you're looking at the castle from Main Street.
Just to the right of the top. Okay. Right.
It has a longer horizontal roof and a very tall, intricate gold spire.
Okay.
This entire section of the castle is inspired instead by Notre Dame Cathedral in France.
R.I.P., dude. Too soon.
When looking at the side or the back of Notre Dame, you could see a similar horizontal shaped roof and a tall, very famous spire, which was designed by Eugene Viollet-le-Duc.
Good.
How do you spell that?
Violletledc.
Wow. I was totally kidding.
Yeah.
Interestingly, Viollet-le-Duc,
VD for short.
Viollet-le-Duc,
Yeah.
that's what it is. Sorry. Interestingly, Viollet-le-Duc was an architect in charge of restoring Notre Dame in the early 19th century. And he decided not to restore it to its original design, instead adding his own design concepts, including the famous spire.
Okay.
So the recognizable modern spire on Notre Dame is actually a creation of his own that he felt the original designers would have created if they had the technological means to do so. Ironically, the spire was completely destroyed during the 2019 fire, and it looks like architects are not planning to rebuild it to Viollet-le-Duc's specs, as there is a sense that his spire was a fake asset, since it was not part of the original design for the cathedral. But if French architects decide not to build it the way that it's remembered by the modern people, then you can always see a very similar spire at Sleeping Beauty Castle in Disneyland.
Interesting. That's a cute little side. Yeah.
So one of the strangest parts of the history of Sleeping Beauty Castle is that it wasn't always Sleeping Beauties. Initially, it was designed only to be a medieval castle. In fact, as it was being built, it became known as the Fantasyland Castle, then the Robin Hood Castle.
The Robin Hood Castle? Well, I guess, so when would Robin Hood come out? 60 something? But no, wait, when did Robin Hood come out? That's stupid.
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would it be the Robin Hood?
Well, get this. Walt even referred to it on his weekly ABC television show as Snow White's Castle.
Snow White's Castle. Robin Hood came out in 1973. Why would they be talking about the Robin Hood Castle?
I don't know.
In the as it's being built, did you say?
Wait, who's the king in Robin Hood?
King
Richard.
It's technically King Richard, yeah, but then he goes off to fight in the Crusades, and it's a different show.
I don't know.
Prince John.
Did you say that people were calling the Robin Hood Castle while it was being built?
Yeah.
Wow. That's almost 20 years before the movie came out. That's weird.
Maybe it's not the Disney Robin Hood. Maybe it's just the story of Robin Hood.
Maybe. Okay. All right.
But just in case you didn't hear, Walt referred to it on his ABC television show as Snow White's Castle. So eventually, they did decide to call it Sleeping Beauty Castle, even though the castle debuted in 1955 and the movie Sleeping Beauty wasn't released until 4 years later. This was a gamble. If people didn't like the castle, then they may not want to see the movie. And if the movie fails, people may no longer like the castle. Walt, of course, got lucky, and both were huge successes. But it is interesting and very, very Walt that the castle itself was actually a lot of just a marketing ploy.
A marketing ploy?
Because it was a advertisement for the movie that wasn't coming out for 4 years. It was in production.
It's interesting. That's interesting because, I mean, if you're gonna have a big structure, sort of be the focal point of your parks, or your park at that point, why not tie it in? So Walt was sort of always tying IP in.
That was his bit. That was a big thing for him. But the IP wasn't even created yet and wasn't going to be there for 4 years. To me, that's I don't know.
Okay. I like that. I don't know. I like that. It's the genius of Walt in the fact that he, I mean, it had his core, Walt's a marketer.
Absolutely.
You know, he even admitted himself he's not a great animator. He did terrible at voices. He would rather have people around him that did better than that, right? But he was still always an excellent marketer. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of like really cool, honestly, that he would sort of gamble like that.
It's a big gamble, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't even see it that way. It was just what he was doing. So as I said, the castle itself was present on day one of Disneyland, but it was nothing more than a shell. Walt, not being one for unused space, wanted to use the castle for more than just a pretty facade. He tasked Ken Anderson and Emile Curie to make the castle an attraction. Now, one day, soon after Disneyland opened, Walt, in the spur of the moment, asked Ken and Emile to join him for a walk through the interior of the castle. It was really just an abandoned construction site. The castle was designed in such a way that the interior was like a maze to get through, and it was just littered with debris left over from construction, including a box of old gunny sacks. At one point, Emile picked up a sack from the box, and as Ken Anderson tells it, his crisp white suit turned completely gray.
Whoa.
As fleas swarmed up his pant leg.
Fleas.
All three men were soon hopping around with fleas swarming them. Walt advised them to be careful as they descended the castle, and he called for a car to pick them up as soon as possible. And moments later, a car showed up with room for just one passenger. Walt took the drive.
What car is that?
I think it was one of those like motorcycles with like a sidecar.
No, it can't be.
I think it was.
Are you serious?
That's what, yeah.
Get out of town.
That's the rumor.
Some Corvette.
Well, and this is
Stingray. No, that's his 50, so it's not even.
And it's in the middle of Fantasyland, so it's a very tiny little car that came to pick them up. So moments later, that car showed up with room for one passenger. Walt took the drive and told Ken and Emile to stay put, and he will get them picked up really fast. Just try not to let the guests see you. Now, immediately after Walt drove off, the two men booked it through the castle opening, down Main Street, and into the Backstage Wardrobe area. Now, after showering, Walt asked Ken and Emile how they got to Wardrobe so fast. You didn't go through the crowd, right? No, they responded. Then how'd you get here? One big leap, Walt. How do you think? So the three men then found the only outfits that they could, and all of them left Wardrobe wearing Tomorrowland spacesuits.
Nice.
This truly, to me, sounds like the best day to ever see Walt in person. Like if you accidentally just saw Walt in a Tomorrowland spacesuit one day. Anyway, after a short investigation, they discovered that the fleas came from the over 100 cats that had taken up residence in the castle. Now, Walt's people advised that they just exterminate everything. But Walt refused. He had every cat removed, groomed, and eventually found homes for each one.
Wow.
The fleas, however, were exterminated.
Oh, sure, yeah. Deloused.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I like to hear, people not putting animals out like that. But Walt sort of went the extra mile to groom them and then found homes. Yeah, that's
100 cats.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of cats.
Yeah.
That's like 4 too many cats.
Jeremy, welcome to the show, young man.
Whoa.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Whoa. You good?
Sorry.
Jeremy?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us, man.
I didn't mean to interrupt Taren's wonderful history
Oh, it's all
of
right.
the fleas.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, it's the flea circus, and
Yeah.
we're in the second act.
I'm glad to join. Thank you. I want to keep listening.
All right,
Oh,
go
lovely.
ahead, please.
So the interior walkthrough of the castle opened on April 28th, 1957 with a large celebration. An adult, Shirley Temple, and her children were there to christen the castle, and she, dressed as a royal princess, along with Walt, cut the ribbon to the walkthrough and officially opened the attraction.
So, I'm sorry. So, clarification. Shirley Temple was an adult at this point. It wasn't an adult dressed like Shirley Temple. Because that's what I thought. And I was like, what?
Yes, it was Shirley Temple as an adult.
Okay. Makes a lot more sense. Thank you.
Yeah, so her and Walt had basically been friends, I guess, for a
they're
while.
BFFs, man. Yeah.
So she was the princess that opened the castle.
Nice.
So the walkthrough was a series of dioramas featuring both 2D and 3D images, as well as some early animatronics portraying the story of Sleeping Beauty. You would see these as you climbed through the castle and then descended back down through a small dungeon-like hallway. The scenes were designed in part by Ivan Earl, who was the art designer of Sleeping Beauty movie, but since the movie wasn't actually complete, some of the dioramas bore no resemblance to the movie itself. There were some pretty cool tricks in the walkthrough, though. For instance, to look at Maleficent's goons, you would look through a peephole. And on the other side, there was a series of tiny mirrors, so you would see many versions of your own eyeballs staring back at you.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, there was also an echo chamber with a special recording device that would play your voice back several times, mimicking an echo. And at the very end of the walkthrough, after the prince and Aurora kiss when everything is happily ever after, you would see a shadow of Maleficent. Kids were so scared of this shadow that they didn't want to turn the corner for fear of running into Maleficent.
Wieners.
Basically. The castle attraction remained virtually untouched until a revamp in 1977, where all dioramas were reimagined to more closely resemble the movie and to include more advanced audio animatronics. And I'm going to say that in quotes. More advanced audio animatronics.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted
More than what?
Right. They wanted the new dioramas to look more like the displays that decorated the windows of the Main Street Emporium. So they grabbed Bob Davis, Jim Dealey, and Gene Camelot from Disneyland's marketing division, who were the Main Street display artists, to develop the new dioramas. Now, their vision included what can only be referred to as dolls. This version of the walkthrough depicted Aurora, Maleficent, and the prince as awkwardly moving dolls behind glass.
I love it. That's not at all creepier than a shadow.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good. Yeah. And especially as time went on, by the mid 80s, it became a sort of joke among guests who called it the Barbie walkthrough. But since it wasn't a high traffic attraction anyway, there was just no urgency for anyone to make any changes. It kind of just got left. Oddly, in 1955, as part of Disneyland's 40th anniversary, cast members buried a variety of Disneyland memories, messages, and souvenirs in a time capsule underneath the bricks in front of the castle that they called the Time Castle.
Stop it.
That's not a good...
Was called the Time Castle?
Yes. That's the only reason it's in this history.
What year was that?
This was in 1995.
Okay, Walt was gone by then, so I understand.
Oh no, this is Eisner all the way.
Yeah.
When they used the castle as a pun for the name, it really had nothing to do with the castle except that it was buried near it. The treasure capsule is, I don't know why I said that. The capsule is dedicated to the children of the 21st century and is scheduled to be reopened on July 17th, 2035 during the 80th anniversary of Disneyland.
I hope we all make it.
You know,
I hope we all make it.
That's coming up.
Yeah, it is. I legit looked up my age. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna be 52.
Wait, what year did you say?
2035.
Yeah, so that's 15 years.
Yeah.
Like it's breathing down our necks, basically.
It is. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
On October 7th, 2001, less than a month after 9/11, the castle walkthrough was closed for refurbishment. There are varying theories as to why it was closed. Some say it was due to 9/11 attacks, and the castle, being such a recognizable American monument, was seen as a possible target. There is evidence, however, that Disney executives had been increasingly unhappy with the castle's interior walkthrough, but didn't see the value in spending any money to refurbish it, and that they actually used the 9/11 event as a sort of excuse to shut down the walkthrough for good. Quietly, the attraction went from quote-unquote closed for refurbishment to simply non-existent. No one spoke about it, and no one really knew what, if anything, might happen. A surprise announcement on July 17th, 2008, however, claimed that the Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough would reopen in the style of the original Ivan Earl dioramas, enhanced with new technology not available in 1957.
See, 2001 is the time when things could go quietly. Like there weren't bloggers and podcasts and websites to talk about it. You know, it just went away and everyone just sort of went, okay.
Yep.
That is so
We
true.
weren't here to dissect it for days.
Yeah, there was no way that you could really be outraged either. 2001, maybe there's a forum.
Yeah.
Like a bulletin board system.
Yeah, like Big Mickey Fan 49 is really I'm really unhappy with this, and it gets like 12, replies, and then you move on. Yeah.
Yeah, you made it your away message on AIM, and that's all that happened.
Basically. Oh
People
my
weren't
God, the away messages.
friends with you. They weren't seeing it.
Those away messages were the first Facebook statuses. I just realized that. It had to be very cool and funny.
Oh, yeah, it was amazing. And you'd be like, hey, did you guys see my away?
That's so funny.
Oh, well, you didn't respond.
I didn't even think about that.
You didn't respond to the message that says I'm not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I did
really
notice you. I noticed I messaged you and you weren't idle. So obviously you thought, that.
Oh my God.
They're idle. Sorry, Taren.
That's okay. That's
I
okay.
just had to weigh in on that.
That's all right. Thank you. So we're in 2008, and this is actually the walkthrough that we can still visit today. And I want to note that the shadow of Maleficent at the end of the walkthrough that kids were so terrified of in the early days, well, Tony Baxter was on the design team for the revamp, and he wanted that back in, stating, kids are stronger these days. It'll be fine.
That's right. That's right. We don't have to walk to school anymore. We take school buses.
Yeah, we're fine.
So we're better.
We're fine.
I don't know.
They're weaker these days. They can't handle anything.
No, we can't.
Yeah, but Tony Baxter doesn't care.
Yeah.
The walkthrough reopened on November 27th, 2008, but unlike previous versions of the walkthrough, this time, visitors who were unable to climb the stairs or navigate the passageways of the castle would still be able to experience the walkthrough virtually in a special room on the castle's ground floor. This lavishly themed room presents the closed-captioned CGI walkthrough recreation on a high-definition television. This was not something Disney was forced to do by Cal OSHA, since the castle is grandfathered in with respect to ADA compliance, but they chose to include this so that more guests could enjoy the newly designed attraction.
It was very nice.
It is nice.
I mean, they got the room. They're not doing anything with the empty walls,
Right.
Right.
So the castle has been repainted and decorated many times, including for the 50th anniversary of Disneyland, the 60th Diamond Anniversary celebration. And the castle's roof was actually damaged pretty heavily by the 60th anniversary decorations. And
I don't know. I don't know.
And while they were able to make some small repairs, others were apparently too expensive and not a priority. So they simply left the roof decor on as a means of hiding the disrepair.
I love that. That's not a priority. Oh, you mean the focal point?
I know.
The literally second thing people see when they walk underneath the friggin' train tracks is the cat. That's not a priority.
Well, just wait, because that was what, 2015, I think. Yeah. In 2019, so 4 years later, Disney.
Thanks, Eisner.
That wasn't Eisner.
No, that was like
That's like it's literally the icon. Like when you go to a Disney movie, that's what you see. It's the signature brand element of this company.
It's on the shirt tags of everything. It's like
that's why this is my favorite part.
Right.
In 2019, so 4 years after they couldn't be bothered, Disney reportedly spent a whopping $300,000 to finally replace the roof.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Eisner needed his 16 mil bonus, man.
I feel like the average budget to redo a house on Chip and Joanna Gaines on HGTV is higher than that. Like they can flip a house in Kansas City for about the same amount. Well, that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
What is it, Jeremy? Is it ridiculous?
It's ridiculous.
I thought my internet slowed down. I didn't know Jeremy did.
Jeremy was just buffering for a second.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's a little umbrella on his face real quick. Oh, catch up, don't worry.
So they finally replaced the roof in 2019. If you guys don't remember, they had the whole thing blocked off for quite a while. I think we were even there during that time.
Yeah, and they had printed the castle on the scrim,
that
right?
Was, yeah,
it was the artwork, right?
It was Ryman's artwork originally.
I had no idea that's why it was closed.
Yeah, to repair the roof.
Awesome.
Oh, but Jason's best friend Kim Irvine also used this opportunity to really punch up the colors, making that pink and blue the most vibrant we've ever seen on that castle.
She's just the worst. Who's worse, Kim Irvine or Michael Eisner?
Kim Irvine.
Kim Irvine.
No, Michael Eisner is not worse.
No.
Yes, he is.
No.
Really? Do you like The Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
Do you like Lion King?
Do you like what he did?
Do you like Splash Mountain?
Oh man.
No, I don't like Splash Mountain.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Terrence is going at this.
I know.
Eisner's downfall was Euro Disney. That's literally why he went down, was because that thing was hemorrhaging money and it caused him to cut corners and everything else.
He also made the birthday castle, okay?
First of all, Euro Disney, and I want you to remember that.
That's what I said.
I have
Euro Disney.
I have 2 sentences left, so let's just finish.
Sorry, my bad. And then we can argue.
Okay. So whether you're a fan of the older understated colors or the new bright ones, one thing remains. Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland is one of the most recognizable icons in the world, and to Walt, one of the most important symbols of fantasy, adventure, past, and future. Sleeping Beauty Castle is Disney.
Wow, very good, Taren.
Wow.
That's very good. All right, now here we go. Michael Eisner versus Kim Irvine. Let's go.
Seriously.
All right, Terrence, round 1. Let's go. You're up first.
Michael Eisner was one of the most successful CEOs of the Disney company for the majority of the time he was there. The reason he was ousted is because Roy O. Disney had an issue with him. He thought that he forgot how to take care of the shareholders, even though the shareholders were putting him in a position where he was handcuffed, where he couldn't spend the money. When they did Euro Disney, they did a duplicate of Disney, but they forgot to actually look into what European, especially people in France, wanted. They wanted the wine. They wanted a different experience, and they didn't present that at first. And so they're hemorrhaging money. At the same time, they're trying to build Westcott in California. So everything that you see that we blame him for is because of the fact that Euro Disney was hemorrhaging money. We didn't get the park that he wanted in California.
Taren loses.
I'm still swinging after the bell, bro.
Wins.
No, all I have to say is that all you're talking about is everything that Eisner did right. What has Kim Irvine not been successful at? Not things that you don't like. What has she not been successful at?
Well, define success in painting painting a castle.
That's the same thing that Terrence is talking about. He's defining success as.
Is your neck okay? Because your head is definitely wobbling a little bit too much.
That's how I argue. Okay.
Make sure. In looking up
Spectromagic. Illuminations, reflections of Earth.
Oh.
Phantasmic.
I want Jeremy to weigh in. Which one?
What else?
See,
Terrence, you listed all the movies, but I mean, the Millennium Celebration.
He also was responsible for changing all of the colors to puke in Tomorrowland and creating a giant happy birthday castle.
Yeah,
those things are like literally like you have zero taste. And I understand Kim Irvine has.
That's like
let me just say, Eisner didn't create the birthday cake. He approved the birthday.
Thank you.
But also, is that even true? Because remember, who's our Imagineer friend?
Matt.
Nope. The other one. Kyle. Didn't Kyle say that a lot of that stuff that Disney World did, like the birthday castle cake, like the wand over Epcot, was Disney World's thing. Like Imagineering said, we don't want any part of it. Don't do it, whatever. And Disney World just went ahead and did it. I don't think Eisner had a whole lot to say, like yes or no. I suppose he could have vetoed it, but that was just Disney World just doing crazy, weird stuff.
Also, the other issue that Eisner had, I forgot what the guy's name was. Who was the COO, the guy who, Frank something or other, the guy who died. Frank Wells. Frank Wells and Michael Eisner were the second coming of Walt and Roy, where you have the visionary and then you have the money man who's saying, no, we're not going to do that. And when Frank died in the helicopter accident, he didn't have that second person. And so he didn't have that person who was pulling in the reins. And that's when things started kind of getting out of control. But Eisner was not horrible by any shape, any stretch of the imagination. He was not horrible. Now, Splash and Splash Mountain, terrible idea. Yes. But if you look at the entirety of his time, some of the most successful things from theme park perspective and from movie perspective happened during his tenure as CEO.
I mean, Splash Mountain, if you're talking success, that's a very successful ride.
Sure.
It is.
I don't know. I mean, partially I was just kidding when I
Sorry. I'm
Yeah, and it's weird that Terrence is so like crazy about this, because every single time Bob Iger's wait a second.
Are you getting Bob Iger confused with Michael Eisner?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking about Eisner, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's what every time Eisner is brought up on this show, Terrence goes, oh.
But every time Eisner's brought up is not brought up in a comparison to anyone else. It's just a comparison to himself. But if you talk about Eisner versus Kim Irvine, Kim Irvine is worse by far.
And mainly for Club 33.
Right, which affects how many people?
It affected
Not
me.
enough.
Well, it affected me twice.
Right. But it doesn't affect the entire park and the entire company.
I probably think about that 5 times a year.
And she annoys me. She annoys me so much.
5 times a year.
5 times a year.
How much better our first trip to Club 33 was versus our second trip?
Just because of the color of the chairs?
It's not the color of the chairs. It's the color of the entire room. It's the trophy room is gone. Everything is different. But
you think all of that was her idea?
She was in charge of it. She was at the helm. She approved everything.
Not even approved. She championed it. That's the difference.
So I was searching boxing bell sound effects, and that's how I came up with the ding ding. And then the first up suggestion to play for the next video: world's fastest man, fastest talking man. Remember that guy who did Micro Machines commercials?
Yes. Oh.
Apparently he sings Michael Jackson's "Bad."
Mr. Testaverde from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. Oh wow!
That's the next video that comes up, and I kind of want to watch it, but it's 3 minutes, and I can't imagine that it's. I don't know. I don't want to.
It's not much faster, actually.
I know. I don't want to divert the show.
No.
Yeah, I won't.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that.
No, that would be terrible.
Listen, Jeremy.
When does that ever happen?
Whatever. Good job, Taren. You did great.
Thanks.
You guys want to do some Disney news?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a little bummed that Jeremy missed the whole Walt's Wiener part, but okay.
Yeah. Well, and then someone in the chat, I forget who, was like saying that George is saying he said weenie, not weenie.
That was weenie.
No.
Yeah, it's a weenie.
It's a weenie.
Taren has it in print though.
It said wiener.
Really?
They didn't say weenie.
Past, present, and
also, those are the
future
same
with
thing.
All the news that's fit to cover. It's the year.
Weenie smaller.
Yeah, weenie's cuter. Wiener means business.
The castle's pretty cute.
Oh.
What?
I don't know, man. Just I feel like if you're using the full German, it's.
Oh God! Here comes that wiener, and it means business.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not gonna be fun.
No. No. When there's business involved, it's never fun. That's why work is a 4-letter word, guys.
Oh boy.
All right, I don't know.
Fun.
Disneyland Paris launches a free digital advent calendar with daily activities to keep your kids entertained.
Nice.
That's
Yeah, I thought it was
nice.
Yeah. From December 1st to December 24th of this month, the calendar will offer daily activities hosted by its famous characters, including Mickey Mouse, as well as a range of celebrities. One of several arts and crafts, coloring pages, Christmas recipes, videos, and shows will pop up when a door is open each day on the website Disneyland Paris at Home. Last week, it was reported that Disneyland Paris had to cancel its plans for a Christmas reopening and was widely covered on the hit Disneyland news show Ears Up in Depth. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, the theme park will now stay closed until February 12th, 2021. So anyway, there you go. So if you're looking for like some cool stuff to do, go to the Disneyland Paris at Home website.
That sounds nice. A recipe might be nice. We could cook something new.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
I was also thinking about this. Like, Disneyland just really misses out on opportunities that they don't need to. Like, if they just put a live cam on top of the train station down Main Street while it's empty and charged people $5 a month to just view it, do you know how many people would do that? I'm one.
A lot.
I mean, I'd do it for like a month.
Yeah.
And watch it once. So, but I'm just saying, they would get my $5.
They would do it. Oh, for sure.
They don't care how much. You could watch it none. As long as you fork over that $5, they are happy.
Well, they don't care.
See, the thing is, people would just leave it on. Mm-hmm. They would turn it on once they wake up, and they would leave it on. And yeah, I mean, they're missing out on a lot of stuff. But I think that they're also doing that on purpose. They don't want to open Disneyland up because they're probably getting a lot of chatter about how much everyone really wants to go back. So if you give them a little bit of that, maybe they won't want to go back so much. But also, we have no idea when it's going to open.
And also, I think they're wrong.
I think they're wrong too.
They're going to want to go back. These people are psychos. Okay,
yeah,
they have podcasts about it.
I know.
At home.disneylandparis.com/en/ that's the website. So today is it's like a cutout of a Christmas tree. So you print it out, and then you can color in all the trees and the lights, and like it's a paper craft, and then it's like in a cone shape, and you can wrap it and make a thing. And so there's actually there's some crafts going on here. So check that out. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I love fun things.
She's crafty.
Hong Kong Disneyland will close again after a surge in coronavirus cases. The resort, which reopened on June 18th, is shutting down after Hong Kong tightened its social distancing measures following a rise of only 52 new coronavirus cases in the city. So they're very, very definitely taking this very, very seriously.
Yeah.
Quote, as required by the government and health authorities in line with prevention efforts taking place across Hong Kong, Hong Kong Disneyland Park will temporarily close from July 15th.
July 15th?
I don't know why they said that. What is this? What's going on here? This is a super old article that came up in my news feed, which is stupid because I didn't even check. Friggin' whatever, but it's still relevant because Hong Kong Disneyland's closing down again.
I think you've been going through the in-depth archives. That's
but it is closing down again, right, Jeremy? You know that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Old news is new news. Again.
What's old is new.
What's old is new.
Yeah, that's
same with California, really. We're just about to shut down.
Probably
just about to. Haven't you guys been shut down for like 9 months?
No.
No,
we have like salons and everything and restaurants and stuff open, but it was announced today that like it's all going
much,
it's enough.
Days.
Well, they're estimating that we're gonna run out of beds in ICU in like late December. In California.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
It's not good, man. It's not good.
Oh, my word.
But anyway, back to Hong Kong Disneyland. This is the third time that the park has closed due to the pandemic, having originally closed on January 26th and then again on July 15th, following a June 18th reopening. The park reopened for the second time on December 15th. And then a statement from the park says, as required by the government and in line with preventative efforts taking place across Hong Kong, blah, 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 we're going to close. We have no idea when we're going to reopen. So there you go. Hong Kong Disneyland shutting down after only 52 cases in the area.
Wow, that's wild.
It is pretty wild, man.
If that happened in America, I mean, there would be riots. We can't shut down with.
I don't even want to talk about it, man.
That's crazy.
I don't
52
talk about
people. But isn't that kind of where it started?
Well, I mean,
around there. So
no, I mean, it started in China, in Wuhan, in China, which I think is more inland China. It's farther away from. It's more east than, but you know, Hong Kong is controlled by China. So, I mean, I guess you can say that, but not really. Ducktales, Terrence, you watched the reboot, didn't you?
I think I made it through about 4 to 5 seconds of it. Yes.
Well, what'd you think?
Those 4 to 5 seconds were pretty good. The doom, da, doom. I was like, done. That's it.
Okay. Good. I'm
Turn
good.
it off.
Yeah. Your nostalgia, tickle zone has been, I don't know, whatever. Well, apparently there were 3 seasons of the show. Yeah, thanks, guys. But there will not be a 4th season, unfortunately. The network said today that the animated series will not continue past its current 3rd season. Quote, the talented creative team led by Matt Youngberg and Francisco Agones have delivered exceptional storytelling. Exceptional. Imagine calling the writing of a cartoon exceptional. That's not in quotes. That's me. Yeah. Now this is back into the story. With uniquely reimagined characters for 3 seasons of 75 episodes and more than 15 shorts, a Disney XD spokesperson said. While physical production is wrapping, DuckTales continues to be available on daily on Disney channels and Disney Plus around the world, and fans will get an epic season finale in 2021.
Epic.
An epic one. Yeah, which I feel bad for David Tennant because I like that guy, but whatever. He was Scrooge McDuck. So there you go. No more DuckTales. Which we sort of like,
They wouldn't cancel it if people were watching it, so no one must be watching it.
I guess, yeah, I don't know, man. Who knows?
It wasn't good.
It wasn't? That's a very disappointing to me. And then last but not least, so we all know that if you're a Disneyland cast member or Disney cast member, you get admission into the park for free. It's a perk, right? Well, apparently the Disney company has been offering something in exchange for that. So here's the story. Cast members of the Walt Disney Company are once again this year able to pick a year's worth of the Disney streaming bundle as one of their perks for working for the company. The Disney Plus streaming bundle includes Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu, which is valued at over $155.
How? Oh,
but under $157. I mean, what is that? What?
That is.
Just say the number. If it's 150, just say the number. Just say the number. Stupid.
That's in lieu of free admission to the park?
Right.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
They also have the choice of taking a Main Street entrance pass for one of the Disney theme parks. This has been the standard perk of being a cast member for years and allows cast members the ability to take their family members and friends to the theme parks for free, though it does come with some blockout dates and blah, 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 blah. From January 2021, cast members will have a 2-week period to choose either Disney Plus bundle subscription or the perk will automatically default to the main entrance pass. For any cast member who picked the bundle last year, that will be extended into the next calendar year, blah, blah, blah. But I think it says you still get a limited number of comp passes each year for friends and family. And you get self-admission to the parks regardless. But
I wonder if they get to build those up if they haven't been to the park.
Would 100% no. I don't think so. So from what I understand from talking to some like CMs, especially like the furloughed ones or whatever, they're taking the Disney Plus bundle because the park's closed. They're not going to fly to Disney World.
No, but
I've also heard that a lot of people are flying to Disney World before they are done with furlough so they can take advantage of their perks.
That is, to me, that's just such a lame perk.
It is a lame perk, but also what else does the company have in value?
Money.
They're not going to
not living in your car.
Living wage.
Here's your perk. You can either get into the park for free or we'll give you money equal to that. No, they're never going to do that.
No, I was just making a point that they don't even get paid.
Well, so from the outside looking in, I think it would be kind of lame to work at Disneyland and then go to Disneyland all the time, unless you talk to every single cast member who's like, I love going to Disneyland on my days off.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I kind of forget that.
Well, and I don't know that I would go to Disney. Like if I worked in Florida, I don't know that I would go to Disney World right now. I mean, aside from like, I wouldn't go to hang out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have many, you know what I mean? I think Disney World is open for weird asses like Jeremy. I don't think they're open for cast members to go.
Well, I have a weird ass friend who's a cast member, and he goes.
Really?
On his
that makes sense because he's friends with you, so that makes sense.
What else is there to do? I mean, it
I
does
don't know,
make sense.
hunt.
You're already there all the time. You might as well go do that on your
wrestle
day off.
alligators.
Yes,
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I wonder how many cast members are using their free admission right now.
I'm willing to bet it's quite a few.
Yeah.
I think there's a sense of safety in Florida that we don't have out here in California in their minds. I'm not saying in reality, I'm saying in their minds just because of what's open.
I mean, I would be willing to bet that more cast members are going to be choosing the Disney Plus bundle moving forward, at least this year.
I would still, if it were me and we didn't live in California and I worked for Disney in Florida.
Well, that's a lot of ifs, man.
And I lived there.
Yeah.
I would go in there.
Oh, well then.
And if Venus was in the sky 3 days.
And I have a unicorn. And.
Shut up, everyone. I hate everyone. There's Bev.
I texted her. I was like, we miss you. And she goes, I'm already in bed.
She's in the chat.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
No, she deserves a sleep, bro. Like,
damn, brother.
Sleeping in a hotel, a hospital with a mask on all night? Nah, dude.
How you sleep with a mask on?
Yeah. I don't know either. But that's it. That's all I got. That's the news.
Well, it was good.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun news going on here.
Almost as good as the history of the Sleeping Beauty's castle.
Of the what?
Of Joanne's fabrics. I don't care.
Imagine doing a show on Sleeping Beauty Castle and getting the name wrong again.
Whatever.
Imagine doing that.
I
could never be me.
You know why?
I would never do
I
that.
found out at the very end of writing it,
Yeah.
and then I just did like the search and replace, and I replaced all of Sleeping Beauties with Sleeping Beauty, so they're all like lowercase and everything. And I was just like, okay, well that's what it is.
Yeah.
So my brain hasn't found and replaced.
No,
yet.
it definitely has.
my brain doesn't find. Many
No, it
things.
definitely doesn't.
You're not supposed to agree.
No, I'm not. All right. Well, thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Jeremy, thanks for pinch hitting for Bev tonight. You did a great job.
Who knew?
Not me.
No.
I'm glad you jumped in the chat. It was good.
Yeah, me too.
How are you?
I'm great.
Good. All right. What can we learn about on Spectro Radio this week?
Well, Spectra's playing Christmas music. I've got new music coming at you from Tokyo Disneyland, Tomorrowland, Christmas area music, never before heard on Spectro. It's so good you can't get enough. Just
When does that
added.
happen?
What's that? That's happening.
Yeah.
It's in the mix. It's just playing.
Okay.
So stay tuned. And then I'm
have
doing
like
the
a
next
premiere?
Ears Up show.
You are. That's right. What is it on?
The
Like, what's
music
the-
of
yeah.
Disneyland's Christmas nighttime spectaculars.
I love it.
Love it.
You get the smile on your face every time you say the cool things about nighttime spectacular.
I love a nighttime spectacular.
You don't have like a premiere hour or something whenever you have new music. It's like,
Yeah, Fridays at 12.
oh, okay.
New music Fridays. I don't know what the hell you've been listening to.
I don't know. I can't get it to play.
I know. Can you come over and?
What are you talking about?
What are you
It
talking
doesn't
about?
work.
It doesn't play anymore.
You push play and then it goes to stop.
It's weird. I'll fix it.
It's
I'll
annoying.
fix it.
We'll talk about this, but I'm
Actually-
wondering if this is anything like when you guys can't get the sound up before we
Jeremy?
record, or if it's
Don't
anything
even-
like that. You know,
Jeremy's
remember
gone.
that?
Sorry.
I think
Dang, shots fired.
there might be an issue over there.
Yeah,
Mm.
there is.
It's called Jeremy.
Yeah.
It's called Spectro Radio.
Yeah. Anyway, SpectroRadio.us. Check out Jer. Jer was live on Instagram the other day. So if you don't
Oh,
follow
yeah.
Jeremy on Instagram at Spectro Radio, I'm sure whatever it is, you should.
You are
because,
missing out.
everyone's-
Your life is great.
It's
If
a real
that's what's
treat.
happening.
I can't get enough of this music.
That was-
Trying to hit something. Like, what is up there?
It was Techno
Oh, it was
Saturdays or
so
whatever. And it was like,
good.
whoa.
None of this happened.
And I told him, I was like, man, this is how much I love you because I'm listening to this.
It's so good.
It really is good. You do a good job.
We
Jeremy.
spent like our whole Saturday night sitting on the couch, like not watching TV and just listening to Jeremy.
Yeah, instead of the Blind Girl show, we were watching the Jeremy show.
I woke up the next morning and was like, what'd I do?
You texted me, you're like, did I say anything embarrassing? I'm like, no.
Nothing more than usual. What do you mean?
Not at all.
What is the Blind Girl show?
It's called In the Dark. It was on the CW. Now it's on Netflix. It's about a blind girl. It's not great, but it's worth watching.
It's not terrible either.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched The Queen's Gambit yet?
No.
Oh, so good.
I can't imagine.
I've heard
caring.
it's like fine.
No, it's good.
Do not spoil this. Have you guys seen The Undoing?
No.
That's like the new hotness. I'm on the last episode.
That's the new hotness.
All right, well, I want to get out of here.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. That's all right. So as I mentioned, once I fade this music up, I'm going to bring up the sample of cool people doing cool things with my good friend Ted Ramey, who is the voice of the San Jose Earthquakes. And so you get about 5 minutes of that show. So if you want to get more of that cool information, you can join the Patreon level at $12 or more, and that would really help us out. Jeremy, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Everyone else, Terrence, thank you very much for not having kids who have defective body parts.
Stop it. Oh my God.
My kids have defective body parts. My daughter broke her arm last Thanksgiving. It's just this time it's not defective.
Jeez.
Well, there you go. All right, Bev, we miss you. I'm glad everything's going well. Taren, good job.
Thanks.
Wow. All right, everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in. And until next time, we'll see you in the park.